in schools, which we'll talk about.
In schools, right.
So talking about break pal in schools, as you know, we have a class in Texas that is a special ed class, and she is using it to project onto a screen to take her breaks with her special ed kids. So all of the exercises are martial arts based, yoga based, or Tai Chi based, and any teacher knows about cross-lateral motion and the benefits of that in getting your kids to learn and in brain development in small kids. So the teacher in Texas is using it with her special ed class because it utilizes cross-lateral motion, which is fancy talk for one part of the body just crossing over the middle of the brain and firing both sides of the brain. So she's having great success with that. We also have a lot of college students that are starting to use it, which is fantastic because they're gearing up to go back to school, and as we all know, those kids are under a lot of pressure. And we also have in Pleasanton a couple of teachers that are going to start using it at the next school year. It's specifically for some math classes, and what we have found in discussing BreakPal with teachers is that the curriculum is packed in. They have so much to teach in such a small amount of time that they were concerned about taking the breaks, but they also understand the benefits of the breaks. They can see their kids getting fidgety. They can see that they're not getting recess anymore. They can see that they're losing their focus. So in talking with these teachers, they're going to start implementing BreakPal because they understand the productivity aspect, which we already talked about, which is they're not really losing any teaching time. Those kids are going to be more alert and more conducive to learning. So we're excited to follow those classrooms a little bit more closely and see how that's going to work out. And speaking of sitting for long periods of time, we're going to go ahead and take you through another exercise. This one, again, very simple. Anyone can do it, but you will need to stand for this one. We'll do our ram's head punches from a square horse. Feet a little bit more than shoulder distance apart, or whatever your business suit will allow. Heels are directly behind the toes, and knees are pushed out. I don't want those knees to collapse. Good. From there, pelvis is slightly tucked but not rocked forward. So I'll turn to the side so that you can see how the spine is straight. Make an easy fist with the hands. Place them at your side, elbows close to the body but not touching. I'll extend out at 3/4 extension. Elbow stays down as the top part of the hand rotates over at nose height to be looking down at the top two knuckles. The punch returns the same way it extends. Out through the center, rotate, and then back down to the side. From here, when I push right, I can push the right hip forward, make sure the toes are gripping the ground, and pulling the right hip back, letting the left hip rotate forward, pulling back as well. Okay, so we'll start slow. 10. Good. Make sure the toes are gripping the ground, the legs are working, and the torso is tight. And as I punch and pull back, the other punch just flies out effortlessly. So we're going to go about medium speed. Good. Make sure you're not holding your breath, even though you want to hold through the core. And we'll punch a little bit faster. Good. Make sure the knees are bent and pushed out. I don't want to lock those legs out. Excellent. Let's slow it down to medium speed. Good. When those punches come out at nose height, I want to work those arms by keeping them up. Slowing it back down to a lower pace. Good. Picking it up again. And speeding up one more time. Good. Grip the ground, bend the knees, and slow it down to medium speed. And cooling down just a little bit more. Punch, punch. Excellent. Go ahead and walk the feet back to neutral. Give the legs a shake. Take one arm, stretch across the chest, and release that arm. Opposite arm, release across the chest. And that's it. So again, as you can see, it's something that anyone can do in a very small space, and you can do it at home, at school, or at the office.
So Liz, why is BreakPal important for both kids and adults?
Well, that's a great question, and First Lady Michelle Obama actually addressed this in a webinar not that long ago, and she had a fantastic answer that makes perfect sense. Kids will follow adults' leads. Anybody who has a child knows that they're going to mimic what you do. So if an adult takes the time to really make healthy choices and takes the time to respect their body by exercising, then your child is going to follow that lead and make healthy choices when it comes to diet and make healthy choices when it comes to exercise as well. So you can actually learn more about Michelle Obama's Healthy Apps project at www.apps.forhealthykids.com. And you can also find out more about BreakPal and how it's working with that program at, of course, www.breakpal.com. And there is a link to vote for us there. So we appreciate your vote in helping us get rid of obesity in this generation. That would be fantastic. Last thing we'll talk about really quickly is brain plasticity, which not a lot of people know about. So we'd like everyone to know what that is.
Right, right. There's, of course, BreakPal was started for exercise, but there's lots of other side benefits. The brain research years ago used to believe that brains didn't grow. That once you were at a certain age, that there was no more neurons were produced. We've now found that that is false. Brains do continue to grow. They have some level of plasticity. One thing that's very interesting is they found when we exercise, our brain produces more neurons. However, if we don't use those neurons immediately after that exercise, they die. So you produce more neurons, but if you sit down and do brain numbing, whatever, they die. But if you use if you learn something immediately after exercising, those neurons stay and they'll produce new neural pathways. You're actually producing more gray matter in your brain if you exercise and then learn.
That's fantastic. So BreakPal tapped into that without really knowing it, huh?
Yeah, we didn't know it, but that's BreakPal. Yeah.
So good for your body, good for your diet, good for your brain.
Right.
And very fortunate to be accepted into the Apps for Healthy Kids program. We're very excited about that and looking for support on that. There is a free version of BreakPal, so anybody can try it at any time. There's no more excuses for not working out. BreakPal has taken care of that. It doesn't matter where you are, and it doesn't matter where you are financially. You can take the free version and give it a shot as well. So again, if you have any questions, you can log on to both of the sites, the Apps for Healthy Kids site or the breakpal.com site, and email us directly, and we're happy to educate you and help you in any way that we can. Again, it's set up like a social network, so there's always someone online that you can talk to, and we'll see what we can do about taking care of this obesity epidemic.
Right.
Anything else, Phil?
Yeah, it's interesting. We are seeing a lot of universities sign up for BreakPal right now. I think before we left to shoot this, that we saw 5 come in 5 minutes.
Right, from different universities.
We don't know what's sending them.
But we're happy to have them.
Happy to have them, whether they're smart or somebody's sending them there. We don't know, but it's great to have.
It is. It's going to be a relief. It's a great relief of pressure for those kids that are taking such heavy loads, and it's so important and so competitive to get into college right now that they take care of themselves and stay healthy and fit and focused and productive.
Right. So we'll make sure you go to breakpal.com and cast your vote.
There's a link there to do that.
There's a link to do that. We're up against a lot of major corporations, and it's just us. But we know that having you voting for us from here in Calaveras County, that we're going to get our votes.
Right, and we're looking forward to putting Calaveras County on the map. And CCTV, thank you very much for your help and support.
Thank you.